Howdy friends, and welcome to the very first Money Monday. I am so glad that I got so much support on Friday and over the weekend about changing this. I've been doing Financial Fridays for 5.5 months or so now, never missed, yeah. And I'm excited to kind of change up the schedule just a little bit, and I think we can start off the week with some money questions, then maybe end with some food stuff, and I think it'll be fun. So I'm very glad that everyone was like, yeah, go for it. So I have questions from you guys. Now, since that was posted on Friday, I will be reading some off of my little computer. I will, however, start with a question from Smelly Sam. This might be a weird question, but I'll use my I'm French excuse card. Comparing your first post to the latest from a European perspective, your food choices and quantities seem to be getting better and better. Do you think that since you started getting out of debt and became intentional with your budget, has that affected your overall health? First of all, Sam, thank you so much for asking that question in a very respectful way. I am always happy to answer questions like that, even if they're a little bit personal, if asked respectfully. I have gotten questions of a similar nature that are along the lines of, you're so fat, why can't you do what you've done to your budget to your body? And that's not respectful. So I don't feel like I need to answer that. I will, however, answer yours. Thank you for asking. What I think there have been several reasons that I've changed my diet, which I will probably get into in a different later on video. I'm still working on that. But what I think you're kind of asking is having a structure and a control to my finances also kind of affected how I have viewed my overall health and my food choices. And yes, absolutely. And the most valuable part of that is that if I had tried to change to this diet of high protein, lots of vegetables, no grains, no sugar, anything like that, because it's obviously a much more expensive diet to eat better. It's so much cheaper to just eat cereal and junk food all the time. I would not have been able to do now what I'm doing on the budget I have, which is just $50 a week. I certainly would not have been able to change to this diet back in the day, because I didn't have the kind of control over my money. I'm hoping I'm saying this right, but as I've become more controlling of my finances, it has been easier for me to get control over so many other different parts of my life. Probably, and this is a little embarrassing, but probably one of the most of that is like my home and keeping my home clean and nice and kind of, I'm going to say company ready, or in a predicament where if my neighbor shows up and it's like, hey, can I come in for a second? I want to talk to you about something. I'm not like, no, absolutely not. You can't. Because I've become more structured with my finances, I've made myself more structured in work at home. And you know, it's just me here doing this and Rory, but she's not helpful at all. And because I've kind of, let me try this. I kind of think of frugality and budgeting as a muscle that you have to kind of work out and build up. And the better I get at doing that with my money, the easier it is to apply those same principles to other parts of my life. So, you know, prior to all of this, I was just kind of spinning on this and that and the other thing, and I was going in 1,000 different directions, and I wasn't paying attention to anything. Now, because I've learned how to structure my money, I've also learned how to structure myself in other things. So I clean and meal prep on Sundays, because that's the day I get to do it, and that helps me kind of organize the rest of my week. And I do this on this day and this on the other day, and it's less stressful because I've built up those muscles to get stuff done. Like I've learned to get stuff done with my money while paying off debt. So yeah, it certainly has affected pretty much every aspect of my life. And I never would have been able to change to these more frugal or more healthy habits if I had not originally started taking those steps with my budget and learning to get my money under control, there's just no way I could have done it financially or kept up with it just in my regular life. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you for asking. Alrighty. Mama4 says, I'm curious, you said you price match. Does your Walmart not let you use the Savings Catcher app? It just saves me so much time. Okay. I don't have anything against the Savings Catcher app, and I think that's great for people that use it. I tried using it forever. It never found me anything. I think there's 4 cents in my Savings Catcher app. The way that I've found I save the most money is by actually price matching and doing kind of the research myself. I've actually recently signed up for a program that costs $4.95 a month, which I stayed away from forever because I was scared of that cost. But it assembles all of the local ads together and gives you a list of all the best deals in my area. And then all I do is I screenshot that with my phone and I bring it to Walmart and I price match all of that. And I'm going to do a better breakdown of that because I have been using that for a month and a half now, and it has saved me so much time because I can look at that first. It saves me time meal planning because I just, okay, ground beef's on sale this week. I can get that for $1.79 by price matching this ad from Kroger. I'm going to have meatloaf this week. And then it's so much easier to get my meal planning done. It used to take me like an hour and a half, maybe even more, because I was trying to think of things. And then I'd try to go and, Google all the sales ads for, Aldi and Kroger and and I'd have to remember all the ads. I'd have to look them up online. I'd have to flip through all the little online pages, and I'd get more distracted than anything. So I've been using this program, and it's amazing. And I actually emailed them to become an affiliate of this website, which I've never ever done before. I've been reached out to many times on my channel to, become an affiliate of this or that or the other product, and I've always said no thank you, just because I either didn't use it, or that I knew how to do the same thing cheaper, or I just wasn't willing to throw my public support behind it for whatever reason. But this program, I actually sought them out, and I'm like, hey, I love this. I've been using this for a month and a half. How can I partner with you guys in some way on that? So I will have a video coming up on that very soon. If you want to go ahead and check it out, the program is dealstomeals.com. And it's very cool. And I'm going to give you guys a whole tutorial on that really soon and show you exactly how I price match that. But I'll give you a little bit of a thing. It's dealstomeals.com, and this is actually my shopping list for this week. All you do is you go through their deals and you just say add to shopping list, and then I meal plan and I take this, and it's so easy. It's so wonderful. I'll link that below, and then this week, because it's Monday, I'll have a video up on exactly how I price match to get so much money off and save myself so much time. It takes me about a half an hour to meal plan for the entire week, every week, if that. It's wonderful. Okay, anyway, next question. Sorry, got on a little bit of a tangent, but I'm very excited about this. And I hope that those of you who have been with me long enough realize that I am not just I have never tried to get money out of any sort of company or anything like that to partner, just because I try to be so picky about that. The only company I've partnered with so far is it was HarperCollins Christian Publishing, and they just offered book giveaways for you guys. They did a couple of those through my channel, and obviously I was happy to partner with them to do that for you guys. And this will be kind of similar. So anyway, next question. Got a little distracted. All right, Scott Warren asks, your electric bill drops my jaw. So cheap. How? And this the electrical bill here costs about $40 a month, and it's actually probably the most expensive electric bill anywhere I've ever lived. I guess because the house is a little bit bigger, but I am very diligent about turning off lights and unplugging things and not keeping anything on. There are no lights on in my house right now. We've got natural light going for me. That's all I need. And, you know, I turn off, I use space heaters. I try not to turn on my big heater unless it is actively snowing. I use little space heaters in my room. I turn them on, I turn them off. Anything that has the best thing in my old house was an air conditioner that had a timer on it. It was one of the wall units. By the way, I don't have central, which probably helps a whole lot. I've got window units and I've got space heaters, and that is how I heat and cool myself. And yeah, that's what I do. And I'll pile on blankets and clothes, or do the opposite of that if I'm hot. And I make sure to turn off lights, unplug stuff. It helps me keep everything really low. I also have the squiggly bulbs everywhere, which were little bit of an investment up front for all the lights in this house, but those help reduce costs. But mainly, I think it's really just the not leaving anything on all the time, ever. Even like a little desk fan, I turn that off when I leave. I don't know if that helps you at all, but that's what I've always done. And I think it's in penance for me leaving every light in the house on when I was a little kid. And I didn't realize I was doing it, but my mom would get on to me all the time because I just go around turning lights on, leaving them on all the time. And I probably ruined their electric bill, but eventually it sunk in, which is the point. All right. Paula Lucas says, I wonder if the Ramsey plan works for someone on just a Social Security payment. It can, because the crux of the Ramsey plan is that you live on less than you make. And so even if you're on a very small income, if you can make your expenses, if you can cut your expenses down to less than that, and I realize the Social Security payment is very small, but if that's all you have to work with, then that's all you have to work with. And that's unfortunate, but the point of the Ramsey plan is to save an emergency fund, cut your expenses down to less than you earn, get out of debt, then save a bigger emergency fund, and so on with the steps. So it can work. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And I don't think I've ever lived on around well, it would depend on where. I guess I've lived on $1,500 a month. Yeah. And of course that doesn't count in like medical bills or anything like that with low Social Security, but there are government programs that help. Might have to, get a little side job doing buying stuff and selling stuff on eBay or anything. If you'd like to email me the particulars of that situation, I'd be happy to help you through it. But I do think the Dave Ramsey plan can work for any income level because it's about managing your expenses and not living beyond your means. So that is my answer to that. Alrighty. Oh, that's not the question I was looking for. Sorry. Thank you guys for all the encouragement. By the way, I'm just scrolling through absolutely wonderful comments saying, do what you want, and good job, and good advice, and okay, here it is. Kinsey Grayson says, have you ever tried using coupons? I get almost all my personal care and cleaning paper products pennies on the dollar or free. That is absolutely wonderful, Kinsey. I have tried using coupons before. Back in Hammond, I got really into it for a while, and I still couldn't make it work for me, unfortunately. And I worked at a newspaper where I had free access to all of the coupon inserts, like all of the P&G Money Savers, all of the everything for free, and I could just have as many as I wanted because we always had so many extras. So it wasn't even a matter of like investing in the paper and then trying to get that much money out of it back. And I tried online couponing and all the stacking, and it just seemed like it was always stuff I didn't need or didn't want. I try not to use very many paper products other than toilet paper. I've pretty much switched over to cloth napkins and like wash rag type things instead of paper towels. I do occasionally still use paper towels for like baking grease and stuff, but it's like a roll of paper towels takes me about 3 months to go through. I do not use them very often. In fact, Vince and Beth, my family, they gave me like 4 rolls when I moved in September, and I ran out, I think like last month of those. So I was using a roll of paper towels like every 2 or 3 months. So it's really not something I have to buy very often. Let's see, what else did you say? In personal care products, I've found that the coupons for those are for the name brand products, which I generally use the generics. I have no problem buying Suave shampoo and the Walmart generic for like my face stuff. And those I've found personally, even when I used a coupon for the name brand, the off-brand still ended up being cheaper. So I am not trying to be down in any way on anyone that uses coupons. I think it's absolutely fantastic that you're able to do that. It has not proven to be worth my time and the amount of energy and effort that I had to put into it for my life. But remember, it's just me here, just like one little person consuming things. So for like a big family where you're going through like a giant pack of toilet paper and paper towels every single week, and you've got so many heads to shampoo and so many teeth to brush, that might be something to offset your costs. But for just little old me, I have not found that to be worth the amount of time that I had to put into it. It was not for me. So respectfully, yes, I have, but it hasn't worked for me. Okay. All right. Miss Anna 4040 says, why not make 5 different dinners and eat the leftovers for lunch? That way you wouldn't get burned out on eating the same thing for lunch every day. Also, it sounds like you cook dinners anyway. Is that right? I love your channel. That is an excellent suggestion, and I know a lot of people that do that. A lot of people comment on my channel that they just make their dinner portions a little bit bigger, and then they take the leftovers for lunch the next day, and that is wonderful. That is so cool. That's such a good way to do things. Doesn't work for me. Once again, mostly because I only tend to cook 1 or 2 meals a week for dinner, which sounds weird, but I'll make like a pizza or a lasagna or a thing of soup or something, and because it's, once again, just me eating it, that lasts several days. So I'm maybe cooking 2-3 meals a week, and at least one night a week I do like an easy dinner where I just eat cereal or tomato soup or let's be honest, like cheese and crackers. So I just do. So I don't cook a different meal every single night that I could then portion out for the next day for lunch. I've kind of tried that in the past, and it just doesn't work for me. If it works for you, that is fantastic. But what I've found that works best for me is to prep lunches on like a Saturday or a Sunday for the entire week, and then just eat those. Because I know it's there. I don't then have to stress myself out about eating, like making something for dinner that night so I have something the next day, because especially with my schedule in newspaper, sometimes I'm not home at night. Like sometimes I have to go out and cover an event here or do a thing or another thing, and it's messy. So knowing that I have my lunches already prepared for the week going into it is just a huge time saver and a weight off my mind. But if any of you have not considered that, to just kind of make a little bit extra of dinner and then use that for your lunch the next day, definitely try it. It might work for you. And it's a good plan. It's definitely a cheap plan. But yeah, that's awesome. Okay. All right. S Castle 05 says, if you only have a little bit of money left to play with after expenses, should you put it towards sinking funds for upcoming expenses? For example, I have a doctor's appointment towards the end of April, or should it go to savings? No debt, with a little over $1,100 in my emergency fund. I started a medical fund after having to get an unplanned eye exam, but it only has $25 in it right now. Any advice is appreciated. Love you, BG. Okay, so you already have your beginner emergency fund, $1,100. So any extra money that you're getting should go towards either your debt, which you said, oh no, you say you don't have debt. Then absolutely, that's wonderful. You've got the whole wide world open up to you here. You've got your baby emergency fund set. That means, and you have no debt, which means you can get started on your big emergency fund, which is very exciting. However, I always give this exact same advice. Deal with the situation that is exactly in front of you. So if you know that you have an expense coming up, like a new semester of college or a doctor's appointment or you can't anticipate that you're going to get a flat tire, but you understand my thinking here. If you know that you've got an expense coming up, save for it. Go ahead, save for it, get it out of the way, and then you can go back to your goals. It's so lightning, if that makes sense, to know that when you've got this thing coming up, that it's taken care of, that you don't have to worry about it. If you haven't experienced this before, I can't really explain it to you, but it's such a weight off the mind. Like even little things, like knowing that I sinking fund Rory's annual shots and like heartworm medication and stuff like that each year. And then I don't have to adjust the budget for it. Just because I have an automatic sinking fund that takes that money out of my account, and it's divided by 12, so every single July when she has to get her shots, all I have to do is log into my Capital One 360 account and pull that money out, and that it's there, and that I don't have to think about it other than that one time a year when I go to pull the money out is just so lightning. There are so many other things I can use my brain to think of when I'm not worrying about all these expenses that are coming at me like raging bulls. Which is probably the best thing about having a budget, I'd have to say. Because that used to be me all the time, was just, oh crap, rent's coming, oh crap, this is coming, and I couldn't use my brain on other things. It was busy. And now, because I have all these sinking funds and because I've been working on this for so long, these expenses that I know are going to come up, I've just taken care of. Now, I've realized that if you're kind of getting started into this, and this is wonderful on you, S. Castle, that you have your emergency fund in place, your first emergency fund, and that you might be dealing with not as much money as you think I'm probably dealing with for sinking funds, but I want you to remember, I didn't start all of these sinking funds on the same day. I didn't even start them all the same month. I didn't even start them all the same year. It was a matter of, okay, what's coming up? Okay, I have an eye doctor's appointment coming up 3 months from now. How much is that going to cost? It's going to cost $100. Okay, I need to save $33 this month, $33 next month, $33 next month. And then I get to the doctor's appointment. I'm like, yes, I can pay for this. And I'm like, wait, I have another doctor's appointment in a year. It's $100. What if I save $10 every month for that, and then I'll have it paid for? And all of a sudden, that's a tiny little amount of money out of my overall budget, and I start sinking funding it. And then I see another thing coming up, and I start sinking funding it. And as soon as you're able to kind of break that down, and you'll get to add in more things, and then all these things will just kind of be taken off your plate, and you don't have to worry about them. So yes, go ahead and fund your appointment that's coming up, and then start funding your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Oh, I'm so excited for you, S. Castle. I really, really am. Okay, I have some, and I missed these on Friday. I'm so sorry. I have some congratulations. Nope, that's not them. Alrighty. Butcher Girl needs to go paperless. Okay, here we go. Katie J says, hey BG, just wanted to share my excitement with you. I paid off 2 of my student loans today. 2 more to go, but now at the 9,000 mark. Go you, Katie J. That is wonderful. I cannot wait to have my debt down to $9,000. That's going to be gone before you know it. That's absolutely wonderful. I'm glad you've got that snowball just a-rolling. And let's see. Had some other congrats. Gotta look for them here. Kristen Sensen says we're having your yard sale tomorrow. Go, Kristen. I hope you make a lot of money and you get to put it towards your debt or emergency fund or whatever baby step you are on. That is wonderful. Yard sales are great. I was considering doing like a sell it all April type thing. It may have to start a little late, but you know, like we do sell stuff September. Maybe another one. Maybe April or June. What do you guys think of that? I've found some stuff that I could sell and try to make a little bit more money to go towards the loans. It's just a matter of finding the time, all that stuff. But if we do it together, I bet I can do it. Alrighty. Oh, Bobby Gregory said, the former Mrs. Jones and Our Life on a Budget both recently posted wonderful videos with their husbands in reference to a question I had on Friday from a person who was asking how to get her husband on board, which of course I was like, you asked the only single person on YouTube. And threw her over to His and Her Money. And there are a ton of really awesome couples that are on YouTube that do this. But that is wonderful to know that FMJ and Our Life on a Budget have done those videos as well. I've probably even seen them, but I can't remember them at this point. So check them out. I'm sure if you just look through their channels and search, you'll find them. Okay? Let's see. Oh, Heather Mayfield asks, hey BG, tantalizingly close to the 16,000s. I hope you're planning a wee celebration for reaching 15,000. Well, actually, she said 15,000 pounds, which, thank God I don't have 15,000 pounds worth of debt. That would be close to 30,000 American dollars. Whew, not anymore. Not anymore. All right. I will probably do a little something, just because every $5,000 I try to give myself a little like $50 to $100 budget to buy something or do something to commemorate it. I might buy a dress or go to Little Rock for the day or something like that. Something kind of small but fun. I do like to mark the moment. Let's see. I think that's it. I thought I had another congratulations to give, and I will look through that to check. And I'll do it next Monday. If I couldn't find it right now, I'm sorry. I will print things out. There was a little bit of a lag here going Finance Friday to Money Monday. I hope you all are liking that it's happening today's now, and maybe we'll keep it going for another 5.5 months. We'll see how that works. Ask your questions below, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Bye.